in terms of companies, right? Like school, right? Like a motherfucker put like Harvard and then, but like I've seen so many instances of someone putting like their little sperm count and their VO2 max, but they
Dude,
put
that
like
doesn't happen.
Princeton
Nobody
on there.
hires based off sperm count and VO2 max, bro. Let's move on to, I want to talk about like hard maxing and soft maxing too. I'm kind of curious like what your ascension was, because obviously like I saw you before, you kind of had like, I don't know what it was, very nerdy looking and you were more high body fat. So what did you do to kind of like ascend?
Yeah. No facts, dude. Like, and I'm low key bloat max right now. I've descended a little bit since I started taking my tests. I just hopped on 500 mgs of testosterone.
That's like a
A
cycle.
little bit.
That's like a steroid cycle.
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to lock in, dude. I put on like 20 pounds in like 2 weeks, dude. I've been eating a lot more and shit. Um, dude, yeah, bro. I just really read it, dude. Like, I lost 40 pounds in like 2 months. Yeah, I already had like a really good muscle physique because I was a gym cell for like 4 years, and like,
Are you
so what I
concerned? I'm kind of curious. Are you concerned with the long-term implications of test? Because that is a lot of testosterone, and how young? You're relatively young. How old are you?
23.
Yeah, you're not concerned at all. Like your test levels are totally normal at 23.
I crashed them because I was so lean for so long. So when I was in that caloric deficit for so long, my test levels were just like, I mean, your body's like, you don't operate as well. So it's like, the way I said it, I was like, okay, well, if
Did you actually
I can't.
sorry, real quick. Did you actually like get a blood panel to check that like, oh, I'm what is hypergonadal or whatever? Like, okay, maybe your test levels were a little lower because you were leaner, but like that doesn't mean you need supplemental exogenous hormone.
So the way I saw it was like, yeah, like if life sucks as a man if you're above 15% body fat. You're literally just a normie. Life is just, if you want to stand out, if you want to actually be someone who's revered as generally attractive, the minimum body fat is below 15%. Life doesn't start until you're below 15% body fat. And the way I said, I was like, okay, well, if I want to be at below this body fat, like my test levels are going to be in like the 400s, 500s. And like with what I'm doing with social media, having to stay up late, having to grind, having to work, it just does not make sense for me not to be taking tests
That's a
because
totally normal
life,
range though. The normal range is 350 to what, a 900?
that's like because they like, dude, in like the 60s, that wasn't the case. Like now it's like they're lowering it and lowering it. It's like, yeah, it's the normal range, but like to who, right? Like to who? Like, like doctors, like they say like, oh yeah, like BMI should be this, like, you know what I'm saying? They say, oh yeah, like eat a balanced diet, but their balanced diet isn't really what actually is healthy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
But
I think
aren't you
all
harming
the medical
yourself in the long term? Because then your body will stop producing testosterone, and now you'll need to needle yourself for the rest of your life. Like to me, it seems really short-sighted. Because honestly, I'm assuming you want a female-gazed physique, and you don't want to like compete. Is that right? You don't want to compete in bodybuilding. So
no.
like, if you're not competing, you're not making any money from it. And you can build like a beautiful like female-gazed physique that women will drool over completely naturally. I just don't see the need to do that to yourself. What's up, guys? Today's video is sponsored by me with GetCracked.io. We recently launched our learning section, which includes progress trees related to various topics you're going to need to master in order to really hammer that low-level interview, and especially those quant interviews. Instead of reading a 650-page book, I told you exactly which sections of which resources you need to read and master. And those sections are accompanied with quizzes, problems, and questions to really solidify that understanding. We also launched a recruitment division and a book a coach feature. Our members love Book a Coach because you are literally 6 clicks away from speaking to somebody in the industry. Imagine you want to have a technical discussion with somebody that works at a tier 1 firm. You can go ahead and book one of our coaches' time at really any date and time that's convenient for you. Make sure to check it out.
It's just so like much upkeep. And like I said, like if I'm trying to like make money or do anything like streaming, or upkeep everything else, like everything's got to be dialed in. And like I said, I'm just not capable of sustaining that while trying to pursue any dream. And like the mental benefits of tests are like awesome. Like I know people say, oh, you should be within this range, but dude, when you got like right now, bro, like right now, my test levels are probably like 4,000 nanograms per deciliter. Like the literal like mental edge I have over most people in terms of just like drive and like determination and like just like libido and like everything, this mental power, dude. And my estrogen too, we got to factor in estrogen because that's also very powerful in terms of emotional like ability. Like it makes you more fiery. Like when you feel an emotion, you feel it stronger and you act upon it stronger. So test is like is like literally the elixir of existence for a man. Like,
But
and people are always trying to
you're gonna have none of it produced naturally if you just go down this route, and then your hairline's gonna get cooked, and like, and then you might not even be
so
fertile. 'Cause if you want to, like, I wouldn't care if I'm not fertile. I don't want kids. That wouldn't bother me. But like, I'm assuming you do. So like, what do you think about that?
yeah, so I mean, like for the hairline, right? For the start with the hairline, like I'm taking DHT blockers. So the only thing that causes androgenic alopecia is the DHT derivative of testosterone, which is converted through the 5-AR enzyme in the body, which um, dutasteride blocks. So I've blocked that completely. So that's not even a concern. The only concern is like with the DHT orals. So I got topical RU 588 to spray on my face. But and so with the kids right now, back to the kids thing, right? Like, yeah, so there is testicular atrophy, but I mean, look at Chris Bumstead. You know, he was running fucking grams of gear, way more than I'm running. Fucking Tren, you know, all that shit, dude. Shit that suppresses you way more than just test. Like I said, test is best. Like, but anyways,
I'm not
had
gonna
like,
promote that on my platform. I mean, if you want to say that to your guys, that's fine. But like, I just want to let people know that I don't condone that. And I also think
I mean,
too that like, listen, all these kids are watching it on TikTok. I joined Clav's live stream once to like, or a couple of times to watch it. In fact, I even donated $5 as he said some funny shit and I laughed and it gave me a good little high there. But like, you have people calling into his live stream that are 14 years old asking about test. Like, this is getting
yeah,
too
yeah,
far.
it's kind of retarded. Yeah, that's like, yeah, that is like not like that. I agree with you on that, bro. I think that shit is like very stupid. Like at that age, dude. Like now, one thing I do agree with is like taking growth hormone. Like if you're short, growth hormone really can't really hurt you. Like I've seen people like
Listen,
actually
I don't
like
know about
being,
that medical advice, whatever. I don't want to have this medical advice block on my channel.
yeah,
But like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
understand that there might be some use cases for doctors to prescribe it to like people, but
yeah, well, yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah, yeah. Like, you know, that's like the only thing I can like kind of like understand it. That, yeah. So, but
I wanted to bring up
yeah, no, I think
one other topic that I think is actually really pertinent, and I notice this a lot too on YouTube. So I hard maxed, I got my nose done, and I also got under eye
yeah,
fat grafting because I had
I'm iron,
hollow eyes
bro.
before. It's still a little red. It will take like a couple of months to just get the red down, but the volume is nice. But what I noticed a lot is, I think I know why, but men are very jealous creatures and they're more catty than women. And I noticed that too
Yeah,
while watching your Instagram. When you were walking around
yeah,
shirtless, you were talking to girls, they were receptive to you. And you have other guys, put your shirt on, dude. Like some random dude, it's not even related to him, and he's like looking at you and yelling at you. What do you think about all that
yeah.
stuff?
Dude, I would actually, a lot of people don't, I mean, you might even share the sentiment. I think it's something you might agree with, but I think men and women are actually very similar in a lot of
Very,
ways.
very, very. And a
I
lot
just
of men
only,
think, oh, women are these emotional beings. Like, dude, you're probably worse, honestly, some men.
the only difference between men and women is that, so they are the same people, but men just have to abide by more social norms and constraints in society, right? So, um, in terms of like the way they think, like in terms of, I mean, if men were like, if it were the other way around and men were like when men get enough status and shit, you see they become women, like they act like women, like Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Like he's ultimately hypergamous, right? Like he chooses only supermodels that are like, under the age of 25. And I'm not getting into whether that's right or wrong, but it's the behavior of like what men would call a foid, right? Like, that like, you know what I mean? Incels would say it was a foid. So I do think men and women are actually very similar in terms of like, um, emotionality, jealousy, like all that. People are like, oh, girls are more jealous. Like it's like in this bullshit, like, identity, like whatever, fuck. It's like men are just as jealous. And yeah, I agree with you. But I think
Sorry, I
men
just want to
have
jump in. I
to,
don't really agree with the Leonardo analogy, at least in my experience. Like most women that I've talked to want to have one long-term committed partner that they can pour and invest into. But I kind of get what you're saying in another way. But anyways, yeah, let's get back to the jealousy stuff. Like,
men say that too. They're like, yeah, yeah. But it's like men can't be as delusional as women because society will fucking check them way more than it will with a girl, right? Like if you're delusional as a man, like you will be homeless, you will be broke, no one will give a fuck about you. Like, no man is gonna fucking step in and pay your bills if you're a broke dude. Like as a woman, you can be delusional as fuck if you're hot. Like you see it on Instagram, these like
but dude, like,
delusional but hot. Even
anyways,
then,
I
like
want to talk about the jealousy though. And like, what do you think? What do you think the stem of that is? I think, in my opinion, when a man sees another man improving, something gets triggered in his brain, some sort of deep insecurity that says, "Oh, I have something that I'm not comfortable with, but I'm not improving it, and I see another man doing it, oh, it must be his problem. I want to run away from the feeling of being not adequate enough, you know?
I think it just ultimately comes down to the mog. Like it's like literally like I know that this man is going to become competition, and that means that I see him as a threat now. Like he's
Yeah,
going to
in
compete
a way,
in
yeah.
terms of resources with women, and it's like it literally just boils down to that. Like if I see a man grinding to be the best harmonica player, I don't give a fuck. I'm not ever threatened. But if I see a man like overtake me in followers and fucking like become more jacked than me, yeah, I'll get insecure. I'll admit it. You
And
know what I
there's
mean? Shit that actually matters to like the mog, right? Like that it matters, applies more. If I see a man like grinding the Riemann hypothesis and he solves that shit finally, and fucking proves it, like I'm not insecure about that unless my girl knows him. My girl knows who he is and sees him on a day-to-day basis. Fuck yeah, I'm insecure as fuck. Motherfucker, that ain't that cool, bro. Look at fucking what's his name, dude? Fucking,
the,
the
and
I don't know. Like,
and there's a lot of
yeah.
copes. There's a lot of masculine copes. If a man looks, you know that you probably look better than somebody if another man calls you gay. Like that's a major cope. Another major
Mhm.
cope is like if somebody has more money than you, you'll see another man say, "Oh, it's daddy's money." If somebody's more shredded than you, you'll see another man say, "Oh, he's probably taking steroids." Like men have just as much cope as women do, and they're probably cattier and more jealous in many ways.
I completely agree with you on that, bro. Like, I
Yeah.
think that is such a cope in like the male sphere, saying like, oh, men are so much better than women. Like, we're not. We just, based on society, we have to abide by rules. So, like, it's almost like that saying, like, are people really more moral in a religious society, or is it just the fact that that society creates these moral fabrics that keep people together? Like, in terms of like marriage and shit, right? In a, say a traditional Christian society or even a Jewish society like Israel, right? People are more likely to be in marriages, but do people think about cheating more? But is it more shamed upon? Is it more shameful for that to happen? Like if you're in a religious society, right, and you were to cheat, you would be viewed at as like
You'd
a
be kicked out.
fucking
There's
like,
additional risks for sure. There's additional
yeah.
risks.
So men, right? So tying that back to men, right? Men claim, oh, they're not as jealous because if a man shows jealousy, he's going to be punished way more than a girl in terms of like social like norms. Like men are gonna be like, oh, you jealous. Like for a girl, it's like not as big of a deal. Like they can act upon their emotions more than men and not get checked as much by society with it. So that's why you'll see more delusional girls and it comes back to the social shit. Like people say, oh, I'm autistic. Like that's why you see some people that literally blow other people out of the water socially, mentally, because they have been working on that and have experienced the feedback loops necessary to improve upon a certain thing. So the reason why men, so oftentimes like you won't see it as much. When you see it, you're like, oh yeah, like 100%. But like, I think they're less likely to be delusional simply because society will like beat that shit out of them, like
Dude, I don't
bully
know,
it
man.
out of
I've
them.
seen a shit ton of delusional men, and they are able to get away with a lot. I also think when it comes to social norms, I'm not entirely sure. It sounds like it's plausibly right, but also we're men. Like, we don't know the social norms that women experience because we're not women. Like, women get slut shamed all the time by other women, right? So not just men,
Yeah.
they get slut shamed by other women too. If you're a man and you go out and, like you said, slay and you like have a run up your body count, men will praise you, and women might even say like, "Oh, look at this guy! Like, oh, he's approved socially." But if a woman does that, that's a whole nother social norm that men don't need to, suffer. So
Yeah, yeah.
they're different. I don't maybe men might have more, but I want to caveat that like, there are
They're
social
very
norms we're
similar.
not.
Men and women are very like I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think like I just think when men reach a certain looks and status, they can act like women. Like you said, men that are delusional and still get women, like the Chris from Chad. That kind of falls into my archetype of thinking, right? Like he is so maxed out in terms of looks in this area that he can act like a woman and get away with it. But if you or me tried to do that, like let's be real, or most of my followers or most of your followers, it wouldn't work out like that. And I think that looks threshold for a woman is less. I think more women are placed on a pedestal. So they could be like MTB and like think like that Alyssa Liu girl, right?
But men are
Like,
men
okay, let's
are
be real. That's a guy, like he's a fucking stone cold true cell.
Men are
Like this
always
bitch is like
fighting for women. Men are fighting for women's approval, though. Like that's just how it is. Like if a man wants a partner, it's usually the man that has. Like, I don't want a world where women fight for men. Like a man should take the lead. A man should pursue the woman, not chase, pursue. So
yeah.
like I think it's totally normal when a man's pursuing. Like that's how it should be.
fair, but like I just don't think it like means any. I don't think it's worth your time to even like approach if you're a normie. Like it's so much like time and energy spent
That's
for
why
such a
that's
diminished
why I tell
like
dudes
applying a
like
CS job.
that's why I tell dudes
It's
if
like
you're
you're
20
applying
years old, you got listen, I date women that are 22, 23 years old and I'm 30. A guy that's 22, you're competing against me. I'm I'm probably make more money than you. I probably have more charisma. I'm probably more developed in my career. You know, I have the things and the skills that you don't. So it's obviously going to be harder for you. But that's why I tell men, like, focus on yourself, build yourself up like I did, and then you'll have all the opportunity you want in the world. You know?
Mhm.
I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Dude, I definitely want to go over the resume, bro. Like just do some
I
CS.
actually don't have time now. I have like maybe like 5, 10 minutes. You want
Oh
to
wait, okay. Could you go over my resume and tell me what the fuck was like shit I was doing wrong and shit I was doing right, dude?
Okay, one sec. Let me pull up the resume. Okay, I have it up.
Yeah. This is
Uh,
huge. Like this, I'll clip like, dude, this shit's gonna get like fucking like mog. Like this is gonna mog. Cause like motherfucker, like dude, a lot of people know I'm a CS cell and neat, but they don't know about like my projects, dude. Like they don't know about like, dude, I like created a speech to text chess application and I want to create a poker application. So I was like, I created an application basically that I would run while I was driving and I would play chess with just my head. So I would like say pawn to E4 and then they would play like the person it would use Lee Chess API
yeah.
and then they would like fucking play their move like C5 or something, you know, pawn D4 or C5, like Sicilian, and
I
then
want to just mention something in the chat too. Guys, there's nothing wrong with being insecure. It's how you take out that insecurity. So if you take out your insecurity by going out and attacking people or going out and trying to harm people or cussing other people out, that's not a good way to everybody's insecure, right? That's not about something. That's not a good way to take it out. If you take your insecurity and you channel it into self-improvement, that's when you can use your insecurity as a strength and therefore cure your insecurity. So just saying somebody's insecure, it's like, what, you're not insecure? What are you not insecure
it's a
about?
natural, yeah, it's a natural emotion
It's a
that like
natural emotion.
like anger. Like people say, don't be angry, don't spike. Like anger is great and it's an amazing emotion. That's why I say testosterone, like the estrogen, like the emotionality. Like if you can feel an emotion and feel it strongly,
I
like
heard
it's so
testosterone
powerful.
makes you very emotional too, though.
And that's such a powerful tool, right? Because say you leverage that the right way, like you said with like insecurity, right? If you feel insecure and you feel that strongly, like you're gonna fucking
Okay,
blaze into that.
let's
You're gonna
review this though. Let's review this. Sorry to cut you off. I don't mean to be disrespectful.
No, no, no,
Okay,
no, no.
so
All right.
University of Delaware. What I like that you did is you had. I tell people to do three things. You did all three. You said GPA, relevant courses, and any scholarships that you got. That's totally cool. What I like to do is I like to save space because I like to minimize the amount of white space. University of Delaware, I would just, this is a nitpick, but I would put a comma and then the Bachelor's of Computer Science, the pipe and the GPA, that's totally fine. It'll just save you a line. Relevant courses, scholarships, I would put them in as bullet points below your schooling. And also you didn't put when you finished your school, so I'm assuming you finished it.
Yeah, I graduated. I was actually like still in school and I was applying. Like I wanted to see if I could maybe get some internships in like LARP school, maybe take a class or something, and like LARP, like get another internship.
What do you
So
mean?
I was like
To what degree is your resume larped?
so that full stacked architect job from May 24th to May 25th is like complete bullshit. I never even did it, but like I just had to put it on my resume. Okay, there's some truth to it. So I created like an LLC and it was like some entrepreneurship adventure I was going to do with some dude. We never even wrote a line of code, but basically I just put that down because like, you know, and I was technically a full stack architect for a year and like this was like the hypothetical project and I had done some research on it. Dude, it's what I had to do, bro. I had to do what like, you know what I'm saying? The dude had to do what he had to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Let me.
yeah, the sales.
I want to talk though about how you phrase some of the bullet points in your actual full stack architect because I think that'll help ascend it. So when I think of a resume, I think of like three parts to a bullet point when you're writing the details. The first is like the what, and it starts with an action verb like implemented, designed. You know, like you have your engineered, led. That's good. Then the second prong is the who, where, when, why, how. That's the details you need to fill in. And the last prong that most people miss, which will take your resume from a B to an A, is like the result. The result answers why should somebody care. It should be quantitative in nature, and then qualitative if you can't find something
Does that really matter, or does it matter where you worked? You know what I mean? Like when the AI is reading your resume for like 90% of jobs in the initial screening, right? Does it matter what the bullet points are, or does it matter that you worked at like Databricks? You know what I mean? Like,
So,
what matters
listen,
more? If I work
if you have
at
Databricks and you have shitty bullet points, that'll probably beat a shitty company with decent bullet points. It might be on par with a shitty company and great bullet points, but what's even better is a great company and great bullet points. So like, there's no point in comparing.
But I mean,
Just make sure your bullet
Yeah.
points aren't lacking for what you have. You know, you didn't work at Databricks, you can't change that. So all you can change is your bullet points. That's why that's important to focus on.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get like what's better, a good-looking guy with game or a good-looking guy without game? Yeah, like, but the looks matter more. You know what I mean? In my opinion. So yeah,
Sure.
I see the vision. Like in terms of companies, right? Like school, right? Like a motherfucker put like Harvard, and then, but like I've seen so many instances of someone putting like their literal sperm count and their VO2 max, but they
Dude,
put
that
like
doesn't happen.
Princeton
Nobody
on there.
hires based off sperm count and VO2 max, bro.
I know, I know. That's the point. It's like, but he
That's how
got
you
like
blacklist max.
like big companies because he like put like Princeton, worked at like Snapchat. So he like no one's reading the specifics in my opinion. I think it's literally just they have AI that is, did they work here? Did they work here? What school did they go from? You know, like you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
is he MPN
I
or
know what you mean, but what you're saying is like the better school you go to, the better experience you have, the more likely you are to land a good job. Like that's not a revelation.
it's not, but I think it's more selective than ever. I think it's actually like it's almost like also in terms of like name, right? They'll scan it and they'll see like an Indian name and they'll be like, okay, yeah, this guy, he's from India. I have to meet my diversity quota. And they got that algorithms for that shit set up because they want to save money on people reading resumes. Like if Amazon, like you said, free market can optimize the ingress process of applicants and segment them via AI and algorithms like quantitative trading, prediction of which fucking worker is going to be the best, right?
But okay,
They're
dude,
going to do
if
that.
you can find them actively discriminating against people's names, you just won a $10 million lawsuit. Okay, so let's just assume that that doesn't happen because that would be a massive reputation hit. What?
But they have the best lawyers in the world. They're gonna like freaking find a way to
You
like.
have
No,
this
I'm not
very
saying. I'm not
doomer
assuming-
mindset where it's just like, okay, well, they have the best lawyers and they have like this best AI, just give up, don't even apply. You don't. Let's focus on how we can make this better, not how we can just give up.
All
You
right.
know? By the way, do you
Yeah,
know
I mean, dude,
do you know what FizzBuzz is?
yeah, that's like the like those are like basic programming questions, right?
Yeah, lead code. Did you do that when you were grinding this stuff for jobs?
Yeah. So I would solve like the blind 75, like the
Sure.
like the
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
like. But I do leak code fucking suck, dude. I hated it so bad,
We all hate
dude.
it.
Like
Yeah.
I would mostly work on like I would mostly apply to like companies that were like didn't have as technical of interviews. So like it was more so like you go in. So like the only job I got, which I quit because it was like a shit contracting position, and I like there was no job security, and I was like, all right, at this point I fucking hate my life and I'm gonna quit. Was like this data engineer position, and I created like it was like an annuity based company. So they did like annuity contracts and like predictions of the markets and shit. And like, and I actually created like a dashboard using like AWS, like Redshift server and shit, fucking like, and it would like, you know, it was like, I would like automated like, cause it was like a data engineering position. So I would have automated glue jobs that like created like random data and like,
Yeah, but what does
pushed
this have
it
to
into
do
the-
with lead code in the resume?
So I would grind more on like projects, like and like focus more on like selling myself that way to like companies that weren't as like technically like the reason why I knew like I wouldn't get a job at big tech is because it's so like interview oriented and like I would like rather like do warm approach like you said with the girl, right? I would rather make a friend, right? On LinkedIn or like meet a guy in real life or like my mom's friend or someone introduces me to someone in town, become cool with them, can pass them off my resume, talk to them, be able to talk to them about my project, right? Schedule an interview in person, prepare a little bit for like an algorithm interview, right? Just enough to get by, but also be so like well spoken and articulate about what I am and sell myself as someone that could do that,
Yeah, but
then just try to go.
everybody would love to do that. I mean, like, and many times you can. I actually got my first job doing that in a way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like,
I feel like way. Like telling people to go big tech is kind of like honestly not a good thing to do.
no, it's not. I agree.
Because yeah, I think there's the amount of people that can actually get in versus like it's actually harder to get into like Amazon than it is to get into Princeton. Like, you know, I mean, that's like
in a way. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
What do you think about like the machine learning engineer data scientist? Like I basically like
is that
achieved
is that real?
That's real. That's real. That is real. Like that was like my undergraduate research. So I was doing I was working in a biomedical engineering lab. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I was like fucking chud, dude. Like I was
I don't even know what
working
that
in a
word means, honestly. I have no idea what that means. Chud.
like I say it like in like multiple contexts, but it's just like chud. Like I was like, dude, I was like I was like that guy that would just like I'd be in there, dude. Like, dude, I put so much work in. I really tried, bro. Like, I put in, dude. I was there till like 9 p.m. some nights, like
Okay,
past.
let me ask you now
I
though,
love
like how much money were you making at the peak in your software engineering?
like $60,000.
Okay. And how much are you making now?
Nothing, like no money.
Right. So like the alternative
But
there
dude,
was
like, bro, I got fired. Like, dude, I got fired from that
no,
job,
I
and there was
get
no
it. And I'm
job
not I'm
security,
not I'm not
no
railing at you for
benefits.
firing, but I'm saying if you're gonna leave this behind, you need to take the social media following that you have and the views that you have now, and you actually need to build something that people want to buy. Essentially, like you have now a digital footprint, and I have a digital footprint too, but like my digital footprint isn't going around like saying the soft N word to people on the street. You know,
Yeah,
like if
but
you're
I
gonna
think
make yourself unemployable, then you need to find employment or find income in this sphere,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, that's kind of like the point. Is like I operate best when I'm like galvanized into making a decision. So for example, like honestly, through like saying that, it's almost like I said, like I've never felt more free in my life, dude. Like through like, dude, like I told you, like the butterflies I get sometimes before posting a video are so real. Like when I say like I'm about to say the word, like you know what I mean? Like I'll fucking dude, like I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like what if this blows up and like motherfuckers are like thinking, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
oh
like
fuck, dude. And I
homeless
just
people
do
too,
it,
they
bro.
feel
Like fuck,
free.
you know, just do it.
Like homeless drug addicts, they feel free. They're not bound by any of society's rules or norms. They just live under a bridge and nobody bothers them. Like they're free. Do you want to be free like that? Like, I don't know, man. It's just
No, not like that. But I mean, like, dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about like the Togi method too. Like the Togi method. Like, bro, he was like in his room, like racked up, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but he actually
I
turned
feel
it
like
into
people,
something. That's what I'm telling you to do.
it's like inspirational, bro. Like, in a way, dude, like some people live through me in a way. Like people that can't do what I do. Maybe they have families and they can't, you know, do what I do. Maybe like they see me and they're like,
Well,
it's like a part of them that gets to live on through me. You know
I
what
mean,
I'm
that's
saying? Like
streaming
my
in
brother.
general. That's streaming in general. But listen, man, I did say I have to go a while back and like I'm getting really hungry now. It was really good talking to you, man. I appreciate speaking to you. Thanks
Dude,
for
yeah, bro. Dude, overall, rate the resume, bro. Rate like, okay,
I would
wait, can we
say
go on my LinkedIn?
I would
Like,
say probably like B minus, probably B
okay,
minus C
dude, I
plus.
wouldn't get any jobs, dude. I couldn't get any
Yeah,
jobs,
because now
bro. So I
people
don't
are
know what.
employers are hypergamous now. They're expecting A minuses at least.
Okay, we agree on that. All right, bet. All right, bet. Yeah, that's okay. I agree with you on that. Yeah, they are hypergamous as hell, bro.
All right,
Like,
man.
dude, motherfuckers have like 10 interviews and I got zero, dude. What the fuck is that, dude?
Listen, Chad gets the interviews Chad wants.
Yeah, dude. All right, bro.
All right,
Hey,
man.
dude, good talks, bro.
Good call. Talk to you later. Have a good day.